How's it going everyone? Mario here. In this video we're going to talk about how to secure profits without using any of your day trades in your option contracts. If you have a margins account with 25,000 and less, you are restricted to 3 day trades every week. We call this pattern day trading rule. It's one of the stupidest rules out there. If you are the category of people who doesn't want to give away your margin privileges but still don't want to waste any of your day trades, in this video we will go over how to secure profits without wasting the 3 precious day trades which these oligarchs give us broke people. Before getting into this topic, leave a like, subscribe, join the Discord, join the Patreon, link is down below in the description. There are a few things which you need to know. You need to know what selling calls are, and you need to know what selling puts are, because we're going to use those two as a strategy to secure our profits in our options contracts. If you don't know that, here's a brief example. I'll give you a brief introduction to selling calls. Concept on this is pretty simple. When you YOLO your life savings into a weekly call option, there will always be a smart one who sold that call to you. Let's say you're eyeing a $50 AMC calls expiring 3 weeks from now, and you're paying $10 a piece. And if you want to get 100 contracts, you gotta pay $1,000 up front. As AMC marches higher, and if it got above $50 by 3 weeks, you'll be making shit tons of money. But longer AMC stays below 50 by your expiration, you'll be losing money because of theta decay and start applying for a job in McDonald's. But remember, every dollar you lose, someone else is making it. On the flip side, if you want to sell the same call, you will be receiving $1,000 up front. As long as AMC stays below $50 or trades flat for the entire 3 weeks, you will be making shit tons of money. The money lost by the other guy's degenerate YOLO play is getting right into your pockets. Since this video is not about covered calls or cash secured puts, we're gonna leave it here. The only thing which you need to understand for this topic is the difference between buying and selling calls are, when you sell a call, you'll be given credits. When you buy a call, you'll be paying upfront. In this scenario, when you are buying $50 AMC calls, you'll be paying $1,000 up front. But when you're selling the $50 AMC call, you'll be getting $1,000 up front. Now moving on to selling puts. Opposite to calls, when you buy puts on SPY because you thought the world was ending and SPY is going to $100, there will always be one optimistic bull who would have sold that put to you. If SPY goes lower, your puts will be printing tendies, but if SPY goes higher, you'll be applying for making the same tendies in McDonald's. Selling puts is a bullish strategy, where you make money as the stock price goes higher or stays flat. Buying puts is a bearish strategy, where you make money as the stock price goes lower. So now, I hope it gave you a clear idea. The only thing which you need to know here is when you sell an option, you get credits. When you buy an option, you need to pay up front. With that out of the way, let's get into how to secure profits. We're gonna go through it with an example. Let's say tomorrow market opened and you got 139 strike call option in Apple for $125. The stock is currently sitting at 137.50. Let's assume the stock went higher and it gets all the way to 139 on the same day when you got the option. Your call is in the money now and it's worth $280. But unfortunately, you don't have enough day trades to secure the profits. If you sell it, you'll be flagged as a pattern day trader and you can't day trade for the next 90 days. But if you held it, there is a chance that Apple got rejected at 139 and came all the way back down to the same price where it opened at. There is nothing more painful than watching a green trade turn red just because you can't secure the profits because of a dumb rule. Now this is how you secure profits without using day trades. Go to option chains. Try to take a look at 140 calls. Let's assume when Apple made the move to $139, the 140 strike is currently going for $200. Now, all you gotta do is sell the 140 calls. Once you sell the 140 calls, the $200 will be credited instantly to your account. I know what you're thinking. Don't I need to have 100 shares of Apple to sell the 140 calls? Because that's how covered calls work, right? Wrong. In this scenario, you don't need to own 100 shares of Apple, because the 139 call, what you're owning, acts as a hedge against the 140 calls, whatever you sold. Thus, no collateral needed. As soon as you sold the 140 calls, $200 will be credited instantly to your buying power. Remember, you got the 139 calls for $125. Now you got $200 into your buying power. Technically, you secured $75 of profit. Now, it doesn't matter if the stock tanked to 132 on the same day or even goes to shit to $90 on the same day. That $75 extra is yours to keep. How cool is that? Always make sure to sell the call above the strike price of your options you purchased. In this scenario, 139 is the call you got initially at market open, and once Apple got to 139 on the same day, you sold the 140 call and received $200 in credit. Why is that? We'll not go over into details on why. If you try to sell the call below the strike of the option, you need to pay the collateral. We will cover this in depth when we talk about spreads in another video. But for now, just remember, when selling calls, always go for the strike price that's higher than the strike price you got. Let's go over another example. Let's say you got calls in Tesla as soon as the market opened on Monday. You got the 680 strike for $2,370, and the Tesla was currently trading at $665. As soon as the market opened, let's say Tesla just rocketed above and then went all the way to 700. Those 680 calls are worth now like $4,500. Now you don't have any day trades left. In order to secure profits, you need to sell the strike above the strike price of whatever you got, which is, you got the 680 calls, above 680, it's 685. So once you sell the 685, let's say the 685 calls are going for $3,900. That $3,900 will be credited instantly to your account. So initially you spent $2,370, and when you sold the 685 calls, you get an instant credit of $3,900. That's like approximately $1,500 is yours to keep, regardless of what Tesla do. Let's say Tesla hit 700 and closed the day at 600, doesn't matter. You secured the profits of $1,500, and it doesn't matter what Tesla do after that, the $1,500 is yours to keep. Pretty fun, huh? You can follow the same when you got into a trade and you're facing losses. You can immediately cut the total number of loss you're having by selling the calls without using any day trades. Let's take the same Apple example. You got the 139 call for $125. Apple starts going down to 136 and lower, and now if you don't have any day trades left, you can't get rid of the calls you purchased. But what you can do is to reduce the total number of risks that you've been exposed to. Now, if you sell the 140 calls to the upside, let's say the 140s are going for $65, that money will be instantly credited to your account. So instead of losing $125, you will only lose a maximum of $60 if Apple doesn't recover. The next main question what I get is, how do I close my positions? All you gotta do is next day when the market open, follow these 3 steps. Step number 1, buy back the calls which you've sold. Step number 2, sell the calls whatever you bought. Step number 3, make sure to do this in the same order that I mentioned. With the examples which we gave before, if you got the Apple 139 calls and then in order to secure profits, let's say you sold the 140 calls, make sure to buy back the 140 first and then get rid of 139. So now this is for calls. What about puts? Can you secure the profits the same way? Yes, the same concept applies for puts as well. The only difference is you will be selling the puts below the strike price of the puts you got. Let's take the Apple as the same example here. Let's say you got the 135 strike puts on Apple for $125. The stock is currently trading at $137.50. Let's assume that the stock went lower and gets all the way to like $135 on the same day. Your puts are in the money now and it's worth like $280. But unfortunately, you don't have any day trades left to secure profits. If you sell it, you can't day trade for another 90 days. But if you don't sell it, you will lose all the money you made because 135 is a support. Now, this is how you secure profits. Go to option chains and try to take a look at 134 puts. Let's assume that the 134 strike is currently going for $200 when the Apple is trading at 135. Now all you got to do is sell the 134 puts and the $200 will be credited instantly to your buying power. You got the 135 puts for $125. Now you got $200 in your buying power by selling the 134 puts instantly, thus securing $75 in profit. Now it doesn't matter if the stock ripped to 140 on the same day, that $75 extra is yours to keep. If you notice something, you're selling the strike that's below the strike price of the puts you initially purchased. You initially got the 135 puts. In order to secure profits, you sold the 134 puts. On the other hand, for calls, you sell the strike above the strike price of your calls. For example, you got the 139 calls initially in calls and then you sold the 140 strike to secure profits. Always remember, one up for call, one down for puts. If you do the opposite, Robinhood or any other brokerage will require you to pay up the collateral. All you're doing right now is converting the call to call debit spreads and converting the puts to put debit spreads. What are those? That will be explained in the next video. Stay tuned. Take high probability trades, manage the risk wisely. See you guys in the next one.